Hi, I'm Alison Arngrim, and this is the Alison Arngrim Show. Some of you may recognize me as evil Nellie Olson from Little House on the Prairie, but tonight I'm Alison Arngrim, and this is the Alison Arngrim Show. And in the Alison Arngrim Show, we talk about things that make you feel good. The TV shows and movies that made you feel good, and the people who made them. And people who are doing things now to make the world a better and more interesting place. Well, I've got someone tonight who's been making the world a better and more interesting place for, well, hundreds and hundreds of years. Every year, he gets out there, and it's a lot of work going all over the world. He's making the world a better place and a jollier place, and he's made my life better and probably all of yours. I have with me, direct from the North Pole, Santa and Mrs. Claus.
Hi, Alison.
Hello, Alison. Happy holidays.
Oh, so good to have you again.
Thank you.
I got my holiday. I got my Christmas earrings.
You
I got
look
my
beautiful,
mug.
so festive.
I'm all I did ribbon things.
Yes,
See,
you
I'm
did.
all Christmas
we might have
here.
to get
Yes.
her a job at the North Pole if she keeps looking like that.
She's always invited to North
Yes.
Pole.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you.
Oh.
I could come in and temp as an elf.
There you go.
Absolutely. We take interns.
Absolutely.
That's very good.
You're a little tall for that, but
Well, you both look amazing because I read about your career, and obviously it's been many hundreds of years. I mean, you look back and you're hearing about you in the 16th century, the 15th, and it's Sinterklaas and all the different names, and you look fantastic.
Well, thank you. I've been around.
and Botox really does work.
It really does.
I'm just saying.
The inventions of the modern era have been very helpful.
Yes, they really have.
You just do such wonderful things. How do you do it? I mean, the number one question I always hear is, how does Santa Claus get all the way around the world?
Well,
in theoretically one night. I mean,
well, I've got a lot of help. I have a great staff of elves I've got with me, and I've also got 9 tiny reindeer. Oh, they're not that tiny. And they're actually able to take my sleigh and get me all around the world in 24 hours.
wow.
Yes,
and
it's a
Santa,
lot of work.
The
don't
flying.
forget, he has a good woman, Allison. Let's
Well,
be real
absolutely.
about
Okay,
where
It's a team.
Oh,
It
you
is
know,
a team effort. Absolutely.
the elves and the reindeer, they're great. But let's face it, he couldn't do it without me.
No, I couldn't. That's for sure.
And I'm so glad we're seeing more Mrs. Claus, because when you look at the movies and the cartoons and all the stories, it's always Santa Claus, Santa Claus, Santa Claus. And then it's only really in the last few decades we start going, oh, wait, Mrs. Claus, because duh, of course. And now people talk, you see Santa and Mrs. Claus. I rode on a parade float many years
I'm
ago.
sure many.
And it was the Mrs. Claus house. It was dedicated solely to you. It was a Mrs. Claus float.
That's fantastic.
I was really impressed.
I didn't get the email about that. But the Wi-Fi is not good at the North Pole still. So 2019, we're hoping for 2020, Allison, that we can be more in communication. That's really lovely, though, because, you know, women are becoming a stronger, more viable conversation in today's world, and we're trying to be more modern. And,
Absolutely.
And I think Santa likes me having me out of the kitchen and
Oh,
helping
indeed.
in other ways. He better, or he's going to have some different cookies this year. I'm just saying.
The North Pole has moved with the times, and Mrs.
Really
Claus
has,
has taken a
has.
full role
And
in
of course,
the
you
team.
know that
That's excellent.
marijuana is legal now.
That's true. We hear so. Does this make the reindeer go faster? What do we?
I know it's working for me, Allison. I don't know about the reindeer at all. but-
Yes, I went there.
Now I do see so many things with CBD oil in them. The products, the shampoo and the conditioner. And I remember growing up the idea that you'd have hemp and CBD oil in your shampoo, and you can't move without it now. I see
Absolutely.
it's everywhere.
It's actually a great medicine. Helps a lot of people.
So Santa could delay if someone is asked for CBD oil
They
or some
actually
kind of
have.
product.
It's been on the top of the list this year.
has.
You
A
must be
lot of
getting a
people.
lot of this on the list
Well, now that they've opened these stores, it's more available to me.
Well, and I would think also the baby boomers now, and a few more aches and pains. People
That's
looking for
right.
that CBD back rub stuff.
Indeed.
And I have a whole lot of new recipes for my cookies. I should have brought some for you, Allison. I will bring them on
I would
Christmas
think,
Eve.
boy,
Yes,
those
we'll
could
bring
give
them
me
next
something
time.
else.
Yes.
Well, that's what email's for.
Not for the cookies. My cookies need to be really eaten to be experienced.
No, I was talking about the recipe.
Well, that's it. And the email, that's it. Santa, our tradition has always been people write a letter to Santa.
You
and the
can even
post
email
office
us.
would get them to North Pole. But you can email Santa now.
Yes, absolutely. You can find us at info Santa and Mrs. Claus at gmail.com.
Santa has a Gmail.
I have a Gmail
account,
address.
Allison.
Of course he does.
Of course I do.
Has
It's a
you're,
new
you're,
time.
you're on the gram. You're on the Insta. Santa's an Insta
Absolutely.
celeb. You're
We're on
Instagram.
Instagram. We're on Facebook.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. It's Instagram is at the underscore Santa underscore and Mrs. Claus. I mean, if you go on Instagram, look for Santa and Mrs. Claus. There you
The
are. I
Santa.
follow you. See, but it's the
Yes,
Santa.
And we follow you.
And you follow me.
Yes, we like to keep up with you because we know you are a good girl.
We have to know if I'm being naughty or nice. So my
Absolutely.
Facebook and
You're
You're
Insta.
always naughty.
is the way.
You are giving back like no one else does. You really do. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you. Because, people say, well, because of the character that Nellie also, well, she would have been on the naughty list. It was a
Absolutely.
Nicole
Yes.
situation
Yes,
there.
yes.
Well, speaking of naughty,
Yes,
I
do
brought something
tell.
for you.
I got
now
a
you
present.
have to read
I
the
must
tag.
have been nice.
You have to
Whoa,
read the
okay.
tag out loud. Okay, it's just for
Okay,
you.
see, this is what happens when you have a radio show, is that you get your presents direct from Santa.
That's right.
direct,
Hand delivered.
early. That's really impressive. I didn't
Now
have to-
read the tag on the outside before you open it.
Okay. To the naughty little girl in my life. Ho, ho, ho.
Oh,
That's
wait a minute.
because
Wait a minute.
I think you're the naughty little girl in his life. honey.
It's okay. In the spirit of giving, Allison, it is December. I will share him with you.
And
This
it's true
month.
because of Nellie. I get a lot of naughty references in there. Well, this is fabulous. Now, I of course am a big fan of Disney and Disneyland and all things Disney, and of course I see Santa around Disneyland all the time.
Absolutely,
It's
I'm
very,
there.
and look at even the Haunted Mansion goes all Christmas, and it's a little shot glassy thing, and it's all villains. It's all Disney
Absolutely.
villains, and I've been in the park and met her. Yes, the evil queen there. I love this. This is hilarious. I can have my milk with my
Your
cookies.
milk.
in
I
this.
was going to say it's for milk, Allison.
It's for milk.
Indeed.
Perfect. But yeah, that's what's so amazing is that Santa. I mean, you appeal to people of all ages. I mean, I of course would start following Santa as a small child, and was I was one of those kids. I was sure. I heard the reindeer on the roof. I heard the jingling of the bells.
Yes. And they leave their paw prints everywhere too. Everywhere we go.
That's why it's hard to understand when children don't believe anymore. And there's quite a few that don't believe until they meet
Well,
us,
it is
I
a
think.
different world.
It is a different
It's
world,
true.
yes.
Well, I would think the fact that as you said, you're on Instagram and Facebook, and with a
Yes.
lot of young people now, it's like, well, no, Santa's not real. Well, he's on Instagram.
Yes.
Clearly he exists. He's on Instagram. And
We've even been known to do the FaceTime, Allison.
Oh, that's right.
Yes,
You'd
yes,
go live
yes. When the
FaceTime.
Wi-Fi's working at the North Pole, of course.
So I think that would help because the kids, if they're just thinking, well, they're hearing about their parents writing letters. Well, who has a stamp? Writing letters and this whole guy. But now when they're saying, well, no, he's there. He's there in our world. He's on Instagram. That Santa is
Absolutely.
very much real
I'm
and
very
here
accessible.
in 2019.
Very, very accessible.
And as a kid, I followed you certainly as a child, and then I liked going to see Santa. Now, some kids, this is a thing I've noticed. I was talking about this just the other day on Facebook, are scared of Santa.
Well, it's a certain age.
Yes, yes,
The
the shy
babies
kids.
to about 1.5 love me. And then about 1.5 to 2.5, they hate me.
They get a little
And
nervous
then after
about.
that, they love me again.
Right, it's that weird shy age
Yes.
where they're kind of like not sure. I want to hang out with the guy with the beard.
Exactly.
And then they kind of go, "Oh, it's Santa." Now yes.
Exactly.
I'd say 3 and 4 is when they start coming into their own, and there's less poop and poofing involved.
There is a lot of
because
that.
there is some of that.
babies.
Yeah.
What do
We've
you
had
think?
a
Get
few-
excited.
We've had a few little
Oh.
stinkers, Allison, so to speak.
And that's sort of part of the deal, part of the
Yes.
job. That's just
Part
a
of the job.
hazard
It
of
is.
the gig
Absolutely.
right there.
Yes. We understand. We just get to hand them back rather quickly after the photo. At that point, we don't care whether they got a good shot or not. I'm sorry. We just, we love them all, but we
And
got to
that's
hand them
what
back.
there's a guy who was telling me he could sometimes people put the kids in the lap and they're crying and they're like,
Oh,
no,
yes.
no, we're going to take the picture. We're going to take this. Like,
Oh, yes, they try
probably
and try.
time to go back to mom at that point. But I was one of those kids. No, I would hang out with Santa all day if I could have. I didn't mind at all.
Yes.
Well, we had some kids at a party a few nights ago. They would rather play Nintendo than hang out with us.
Yes.
So we're trying to be more modern with the kids with the conversations. But
And then the other night I was visiting somebody and a bunch of kids gave me Christmas ornaments for the tree.
then there's those
Well,
kids.
now
too.
that's
Yes.
sweet.
Yes,
Beautiful.
yes.
Children
Absolutely
brought
beautiful.
presents to
They made
Santa.
them.
Yes.
They made them.
With their own hands. It's
So there's a
wonderful.
little bit of the Christmas spirit in modern society still.
Yes.
Well, that's good because and I said it is all ages. Obviously, I'm still I still love Santa. I have you on my show. You guys do so much. You're all over LA. You're doing so many events now in LA, and you have some stuff coming up on the 20th.
We
Yes.
do. Let's see. It's the
We're
the
doing-
20th. We're at the preschool.
We've got a private preschool that
Yes,
actually
so
wants us to
that's-
come visit.
That's the
We'll
age
be
of those
there.
kids.
That's
They're
the
going to be
kids.
real
Absolutely,
excited.
yes.
We've
Yeah.
got some mall gigs coming
Yes.
up.
You're at the
we'll-
mall, like
We'll
in the
be in
the
Westlake.
mall.
We'll
Yes.
be in Westlake out on the 20th or the 21st.
The 21st of December, Westlake Mall,
Village.
Westlake
And then
Village.
we're out in El Camino on the
El Camino,
22nd.
which is Woodland Hills.
Woodland Hills.
Woodland
Yes,
Hills.
Mulholland Drive, I believe. It's a place.
Wow.
Yes, that will be
Big
11
shopping
to 2.
center.
11 to 2.
And then
okay.
the Westlake is 2 to 5. So,
Yes.
yes, we love being in LA
It's
because
a very varied
it's-
schedule, but it's wonderful.
But the weather's so good. Santa and I
is.
love the weather. We get a
We
little
do.
warm,
So
actually.
you're a little warm with the beard and the suit.
Yeah, and the
Absolutely.
clothing that that's all we own, Allison. We are hoping for some sponsors from this particular show. If anyone would like to shout out some LA Claus clothes, we're open. to
Lighter wear, but
Yeah.
when you're going around the world at night so much in the sled,
chilly.
it gets so
It's
cold. You
chilly.
have to have the warm
It's-
clothes when
yes.
you're flying
Absolutely.
around. with the
Although I do
reindeer.
have a bathing suit.
He does.
I don't wear it that often.
Yes.
I've seen those pictures somewhere posted with like Santa with a surfboard. so
Sure,
you do
absolutely.
get to the beach once in a blue moon.
Yes, I do. I get out on a sea-doo sometimes, too. Absolutely.
I wasn't invited to that party. When was that, Santa? We might have to talk after the show. Just a little curious about that particular. Anyway, but he does have a.
A little Catalina Island thing.
I wasn't invited to that either. Okay,
But
well,
you gotta stay in shape. I mean, yes, you're jolly and a belly like a bowl full of jellies, the poem
Absolutely.
says. But even at that, you still gotta, keep your
Yes.
heart rate and cholesterol
Absolutely.
down, right?
I still have to go to the doctor, just like you.
that's right.
It's just I've had several doctors in my lifetime.
Well, after this many hundred years, I guess they
Yes.
We
figured
do
you
lose
must
them.
be doing it.
Allison, it's yes, we have to keep up, and we fly into different areas. We very incognito so that Santa can keep up his health, but we also are to have some elves that have been talking about going to medical school. So we actually
great.
think that might be good, and just have like a little setup right at home at the North Pole.
Well,
They
that's
want to
smart.
branch out a little bit, and we're not there to hold them back.
Yeah, there was one year I had one that wanted to be a dentist.
Oh,
I
yes.
remember. I saw
think
that in
we
that
had a
Rudolph
show on
movie.
that, yes.
They were talking about being a dentist,
Yes.
and back then that was considered shocking for an elf to want to be a dentist. But
It
now you're
was.
talking medical school.
Medical school. and
Elves are
Absolutely.
really branching
Again,
out.
times changing.
times change.
Gotta keep up with the times.
Yes. In fact, it was one of the elves that showed us how the FaceTime worked and the Instagram.
Oh, that's
He's
very
quite good.
smart.
We're suggesting he go to a tech school because we think that would help us up at the North Pole to
Yes,
stay in
an
touch
IT elf.
the rest of the year.
An IT elf.
An IT elf. Well, that makes sense because if the elves have been making toys and the toys are becoming more and more high tech over the years, that
Yes.
the
Absolutely.
elves would be able to handle the tech
Yes,
for you.
Yes, they have to keep up too. So we're grateful for the kids that still love the homemade toys and the ornaments that we get, but we want them to know we are trying to keep up with what they are dealing with, where the 3-year-olds have iPads.
Yeah,
There's some of that, isn't there, Santa?
Oh, and iPhones.
Yes.
Kids are getting iPhones now, much younger.
Oh yeah, no. Now,
They all
really,
want
if,
them.
if I don't know how, if something's broken on your phone or your computer, really, it's you ask the nearest 9-year-old or something. That's who
right.
knows how to do anything now.
Oh,
it's
so true.
craziness.
Yes.
Now, again, high tech. Many homes don't have the chimney now. People are living in apartments. People are living in places with just sort of the electric fireplace and everything. So the classic chimney fireplace. Many kids wonder, well, wait a minute, nobody's doing that anymore. How you getting in?
I know how to use a door. I really do. Oh, yes. Yes, the door's been around for a long time.
Yes.
Longer than me, most likely. And yes, I do use a door, too.
Yes.
Excellent.
He can
excellent.
get through a lock. He's magical,
An
Allison. as you
occasional
know.
window.
Come on.
An occasional window.
The occasional window.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's when I was a child. We didn't have a real fireplace. I was told, the door works.
Well, where do you think the window of opportunity came from?
Of
Oh.
course.
Of course, I stay right close to the global police scanner, Allison, on Christmas Eve in case somebody is taking Santa for one of those home burgles. But
Well, right, because you have those ring
careful.
cameras and everything, but they can see it,
They see
Santa,
it, yeah.
on the ring
And
camera.
you do know that NORAD follows me all
They
around
do.
the world.
I
They do.
follow the
Yes.
NORAD following Santa account on Twitter,
Yes.
and I put it on the phone with the alerts so that I know. I've always liked that. It used to be just like the local TV news would tell us NORAD was following Santa. Now it's on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow and see that you
And
are
sometimes
being
I
followed.
tune into NORAD to see where I am.
It's like the GPS.
Yes.
Am I over Bolivia? I
Well,
don't
my-
know. Let me
Sometimes
see.
my GPS goes out and I rely on NORAD. There you
Right?
go.
What are you gonna do? Now, if the naughty and nice thing, this is always a thing. Like, how do you know? How do you know who's been naughty or nice? And where do you draw the line?
Well, it's not that fine of a line, to be honest with you.
There's wiggle room. There's gray areas.
There's a lot of wiggle room, you know. You've got to be forgiving, right? Absolutely. And children, you know how children can be. They don't always know what's good and bad. You know, you're going through things as a child and growing.
Right.
So sometimes I have to be a little more forgiving.
See, that's really good to know because especially really little kids are saying, I'm
Yes.
trying to be good all year. Am I really, is Santa really going to like just not bring me anything because I had one bad day?
Well,
And it's,
there
you know.
are those children that will get the cold. And they know it.
But they know
so
who they are. They
They
know
know
who they are.
and they know they're getting the coal.
Yes, we still have a large storage shed at the North Pole filled with coal, Allison, because that's still an issue. But and then we have the big kids. The naughty and nice thing is a little different line for the.
Well, it is kind of funny.
Adults.
You know, the adults are sometimes a little worse than the children.
Often.
I've been at
often.
malls or sittings where people would like a photo, and sometimes the parents are worse than the children.
Oh, it's like sporting events. It's like sporting
Absolutely.
events. It is always the way.
And sometimes the parents are going to get some coal.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
absolutely.
It's the parents who get competitive. I think that's
Absolutely.
it. They get very competitive about the kids' photos, just like they do at the football games.
Absolutely.
The total like stage parents. Stage parents, even
And
at
some of
Santa.
them come back and want their own selfie with Santa. I do have the issue with the ladies, Allison, that want to sneak on
Right.
my Santa's lap and when I'm not looking or holding a baby and I have my own naughty list for that.
And I can see where Santa, being this wonderful man who does all these wonderful things, is very attractive. And for many women,
Well,
seeing
look at him.
Santa as a
Oh.
star, a sex symbol, if you will,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
But he's Mrs. Claus. He's married and he's Santa,
He
for heaven's
is
sake.
married hundreds and hundreds of years.
Right.
So I don't know what's with some of these young ladies that seem to actually not, it's all ages really. That was that
Right.
one 72-year-old last year. Remember that?
Oh, yes.
That
I
one.
do remember Brenda.
Brenda,
No, you knew
you've
her
been called
first
out.
name,
You've been
Santa.
called out, girl.
Brenda, you know who you are.
Stay away from my husband.
But that's it. You can't be harassing Santa. And you know, he has a wife. You have to behave yourself. You can't sexually harass poor Santa Claus. He's doing his job. It's a workplace issue, for God's sake.
It is, and there's videos for that now too, Allison.
Oh.
That's why I've come out from behind the
Right.
kitchen because I need to let some of them really know that he does have a wife. And,
Right.
And I'm open. I'm fun and playful, Allison. But you know, again, talking about lines to be drawn. You know.
And it's interesting because Santa has always stood for, you know, rescuing people from these kind of situations. I was reading that one of the ancient incarnations early on of Santa, one of the first records was they connected to it, Saint Nicholas, when they were, you know, Saint Nick back in the day when you're going by
Sure,
Saint Nick.
absolutely.
That way back, 4th century Greek Christian. Well, that when he brought gifts, and it was stockings, it was the stocking thing started in the 4th century, but that the reason Santa dropped stuff down the chimney and into those stockings was there was a family and they were very poor and they were being pressured to put their daughters, get this, into prostitution.
I remember those girls.
Terrible,
Yes.
just terrible.
Yes.
And it was Santa said, no, we're not doing that. And got them gifts and money in the stockings so they did not have to do the rescue these girls
Absolutely.
from human trafficking
Yes.
That's right.
in the 4th century. Amazing.
I've got to do my good deeds.
A lot of rescuing going on. We're into rescuing people and animals, and it's part of the magic of Christmas. You know, we're about helping everybody as long as no one takes advantage of my husband.
And the animals, people now, they want presents for the animals. The animals got a stocking. My cat has a
Absolutely.
stocking.
Yes,
you know?
we know.
Absolutely.
And
Even the
I know
animals.
she's kind of naughty, but
Well,
we give
they're
her little
family.
things.
Animals are
Right.
family.
Yes, yes.
So it's okay to ask Santa for presents for your cat and dog. Put the
Absolutely.
stockings out.
We're very animal friendly, not just reindeers. They
Even,
we
oh,
love.
no, even your giraffe.
Yes, we've posed with several. We
Oh, yes.
like to support nonprofit organizations that have had us to pose with some of their animals to help raise funds and awareness.
Absolutely.
And
We've posed with sloths and giraffes.
Oh.
and,
armadillos
yes,
and
snakes,
and you name it.
rainbow boas,
I like rainbow
lizards.
bows. You know
yes,
me and the
we've done
snakes.
it all.
Yes. Equal. We do say be cautious when getting a gift of a pet, though.
That's
Oh,
right.
yes.
Right? That's the the children cannot be expected to take perfect care of the pet. That's the parents have to.
That's right.
Be aware, and they're going to have to take care of that pet. So that's a little message we like to.
Oh, and people get
Absolutely.
excited around the holidays and say, "I'm gonna a bunny. I'm gonna get a because it's so cute, and it'll
Yes.
make a great present. A puppy, get a puppy." Except then the person they're getting it for doesn't really want it, or
Exactly.
then they didn't know what was involved in taking care of a pet,
Absolutely.
and then next thing you know, a few weeks, months later, it's like, what do I
Yes.
do? So you want to really make sure that
Yes.
the person who's getting this puppy or kitten or bunny rabbit
Absolutely.
is into that. and is
Absolutely.
ready.
Yes.
Do
and
your
rescue.
homework.
Yes. And there's lots of wonderful animals at all the rescues. Your cat is a
Yes,
rescue,
Miss
right?
Miss Morticia. She was a local rescue,
local
marvelous
rescue.
woman in our neighborhood who had cats, dogs, and an iguana in her house, and this little tiny black kitten that just found somewhere, and she was like the last one to be picked out. And we came by, and she just climbed up on my shoulder and said, "Well, yeah, I guess she's coming with us." And
But she is a great kitty. I have visited Morticia.
that's right.
Many
You
times.
know of Morticia.
Oh,
Pictures.
I do.
Yes. So
Now I'm trying to tell her she needs to stop with the biting thing. She's a little bitey. She's
It's
still
okay.
young.
At least
She's
she's not. At least she's not really hurting anybody.
Right, trying to get a little less bitey, and then tell her that she will, do better at Christmas.
I have a suggestion. They have the CBD for the pets too.
I'm thinking that might work. That might
Yes.
be
They
just the
do.
thing on her.
Yes,
They
yes.
do.
A special
Settle
little,
her
little
down.
treat. And
Well,
speaking
it's
of,
like
put some
catnip.
things-
Speaking of
right.
treats, I did.
What do you have there?
I did
You
get because
sure
it's
did.
Christmas. I got little green and white iced cupcakes, and these marble. These are actually really good. They're like a nice butter cookie
Ooh,
with
did you make
sprinkles.
these yourself,
I
Alison?
know.
Oh,
The
okay.
Nice people at Vaughn's.
Oh, we like people at Vaughn's.
Oh yes, we
I
like
might try
Vaughn's.
one right now.
I have milk and things and water and whatnot.
That would go really good with my my milk.
That's right.
Oh,
People put out things when people have always. I was told to put out the milk and cookies as a child, and you still like
Absolutely.
those. You
Of
still like
course.
those.
Absolutely.
And then I often put out things for the reindeer, some sugar cubes, and
Absolutely.
apples,
Carrots.
kind of
Carrots.
things.
Carrots are like candy to reindeer.
Carrots for the
oh
reindeer.
yes, carrots
Yes.
for the yes, absolutely. It's just like candy.
And it's good for them to be able to see in the
Oh, it's
dark. all the
absolutely.
distance
It's
they're
great.
going and everything.
Vitamin A.
They also like apples and pears.
All the fruit, and then my mother, of course, had said, "Well, Santa, he's a grown man, and he's been out in the sleigh all night. It's pretty cold. Maybe he'd like a little drink." And
Oh,
so, my mother
absolutely.
suggested
Your mother-
putting together
Leave
all those
those
bicycles, a little drink occasionally. Just
Oh,
a little
yes.
nip.
Little bit of whiskey, a little bit of scotch. That never hurt anybody.
I like the memory of your mother, Allison. I think she sounded like a very smart lady.
Very, very sensible.
She was a smart lady. You had a great mother.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, she was Gumby.
She was Gumby.
She
and-
was
and
Sweet
she-
Polly
Swallow
Purebred.
and Casper
And
the friendly
Casper the
ghost.
friendly ghost.
And indeed, and Davy of Davy
That's
and Goliath.
right.
And boy, they had some great Christmas episodes on
They
Davy and
really
Goliath.
did. She
Boy,
did a
they-
wonderful job. She really did.
And she was a guest Smurf.
Really?
She was a guest Smurf. She was a Smurf at once. And one of my mother was a guest Smurf.
Wow.
That's awesome.
I just know I like what she suggested you leave Santa.
Absolutely. She was very practical. She was very practical about these things.
Practical lady.
to warm up and keep him.
And
long as
she
he's
was the one
driving
when
safe.
I would, make those lists. When you're like 6 and 7, it's just the list is pages. And
Yes,
again, a thing and a
absolutely.
dollhouse and a bicycle and three. And she would say, that's a lot. He's got to fit
That's
these things in the
right.
sleigh. He's got to carry that. He's got to put that stuff together. Yeah, sure you want to work him this hard. and she was very sympathetic to Santa.
Well, somehow it all works. Christmas magic.
It is
Somehow you do it.
It is Christmas
You do it.
magic.
What do you think is the most requested toy in the last few years? What do you see?
Nintendo.
Really?
Nintendo
Is that the
huge.
thing? And our
Absolutely.
engineer is totally nodding.
He is.
that
Oh,
what-
yes,
Have you been
Nintendo.
very good this year? Is that what you want for
Oh.
Christmas?
I got a Nintendo last year, actually.
Oh, see, yep.
See, but yep, he's right. That's the
That
one.
Nintendo is
The other one
really
is Legos.
Really, those are back because of
Classic.
the movie.
They're back because of the
Absolutely.
movies. Yes.
Oh.
Yep.
Yes. So we hear a lot of Legos.
Well, that's good because that's creativity and then
Yes.
working with your hands, putting stuff
Absolutely.
together. And I mean, now some of the games have gotten clever. Some of the games, I will check. Some of the games have gotten like educational. Yes.
There's some educational ones. I don't really buy the educational ones. But
I knew I liked that boy.
He likes the adventure.
yes.
Yes. Yes.
But they've gotten very interesting with the games now. The video games are better than they used to be.
Yes.
But I do like the fact that Lego is back. Stuff you can
Quite a
actually
lot of
do
Lego
live
requests.
and in real life.
And of course, board games are always popular.
good,
Monopoly
they're
is a
back.
big one.
Is
There are so
Monopoly
many
still hot?
versions.
Monopoly's still hot?
There are so many versions
this
of
is true.
Monopoly.
This
I
is true.
can't
Yes,
even
it's
keep
true.
count anymore.
Yes,
There's
yes.
Disney Monopoly and Wizard of Oz Monopoly and NASCAR
Potter
Monopoly and Catopoly.
I just
They've
saw
got
a
all
Monopoly,
these.
the almost never-ending Monopoly, where because they said Monopoly usually eventually it ends,
Yes.
but they set it up where you like have to buy all the properties, you have to lose all the money away, so that the game takes forever.
Right.
If you just don't
absolutely.
want to stop, you
It
want your
resembles real life for many
like
people.
real
Why,
life.
far more realistic that one.
Real-
Allison.
I
There's
lose
even a-
everything,
Sad but
and
true.
the game is
There's even,
sadly.
there's even an American Idol Monopoly.
American Idol Monopoly.
Idol
How in the
Monopoly.
heck do you play American?
I don't know, but it's been asked for many times.
I know there's a naughty Monopoly as well.
Oh, there's several. Yes, there's like
Yes.
sexy Monopoly.
Yes,
that's
yes,
a
yes,
thing.
yes,
That's a
yes.
thing.
Well, there's also Cards Against Humanity.
Oh, now that's a
Another very
very
fun
It's a
game.
very naughty game.
It is a naughty
but
game.
it's very clever.
It's
clever naughty.
We actually caught some of the elves playing it this
Oh,
year.
I'll
while
bet. I'll bet.
They were on their break, and we went in, and we heard some things that we really shouldn't have heard.
Well, it was
we
actually
did
on,
learn a little bit,
it
Allison.
was actually on their Christmas list.
Yes, it was.
I would bet. I would think that would be very popular. But there, it's like I said, it's a very it inspires creative thought.
It does.
Absolutely.
Yes, even if it's extremely
very
naughty
foul
and
language.
terrible, terrible things.
Yes.
Oh.
Now, I said you're still eating milk and cookies. Are you on a diet at all? Are you
Not this
restricting?
time of year.
Oh, right. And
Anything
you're not,
goes.
No gluten free. You don't need the
Anything
gluten
goes
free
this time
cookies.
of year.
That's
Everything's
right.
out the window.
Well, you're burning a lot of calories.
Absolutely.
On Christmas, hauling that
Not
stuff
slowing
around.
down this time of year.
No, you can't.
And I pretty much have most of my skills involving sugar when it comes to baking. So, I mean, you can't make a cookie with all this fake stuff. I just believe in tradition.
And sometimes
Sugar.
the old ingredients, the butter, the sugar, if you
Absolutely.
eat like a smaller amount of that, you're full longer.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes, so we
Take your
believe-
time.
That's why we enjoy the movie Elf actually quite a bit, because we love
That is
those
a fun
scenes where
movie.
That's right.
he
He eats
promotes.
everything is sugar.
Yes,
That
His
is
whole
yes.
diet is
Yes,
sugar. That's
yes.
his metabolism.
Well, and
literally
we see
ran
that with
on
our
sugar.
elves, Allison. I mean,
true.
it's like maple syrup on everything. We have a lot of maple syrup shipped up to the North Pole. I love it on everything. So
Do you think Canadian or the Vermont? Do you like that?
Vermont?
The
Oh,
Vermont.
definitely
Wouldn't you
Vermont.
say
Vermont.
Santa?
Definitely Vermont.
Yes, it's Vermont.
Oh,
Yeah.
we love Vermont.
Pours more
Yeah.
smoothly.
Very good on spinach souffle. Some of them, don't like to eat their greens, so I just doctor it up a little
But
bit.
see, there you're getting them to eat the vegetables.
trying,
You're sneaking
yes,
in the
yes,
healthy
yes,
food.
yes, yes,
Very
absolutely.
important. That's
Yes.
marvelous. Now, what are some of the more interesting questions you do get from kids? I mean, we know the ones. I mean, I always wondered how you got down the chimney and how you made it through one night. But do you get interesting questions nowadays from the kids?
Well, I get questions like, where are the reindeer?
Where are the reindeer?
Of
Right.
course, they're up on the North Pole. They don't come out until it's time to go.
Right.
They're around playing around the castle in that area, but for the most part, they are just up there and having a good time while we're doing our thing.
And is Rudolph with the glowy
Oh,
nose? He's still the
absolutely.
nose is still glowing the whole bit.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, it really just needs to glow when I need to get through a storm.
Right. So I mean, it would
Yeah.
be kind of
But
warm.
but
if it
he
was
does
the whole
use
day.
it when we do need it.
Wow. And it still works.
Some
It
things never
still
change.
works. Absolutely.
Now, do you have difficult questions sometimes from children?
I do. So, when children ask for a gun,
Wow.
We did
yes.
have that, Allison.
yes, we actually have had that before, and I don't do guns.
No.
Santa will not do a gun.
No.
Your parents can give you a gun, but I will not.
But we suggest you don't.
But we
Just
suggest you
saying.
don't. Yes, we do not like guns.
Teenagers, if you're taking them hunting, but it's true, very small children now looking
Yes.
for weaponry.
And they're quite serious about it.
And also, times have changed. It's not the Little House on the Prairie times anymore where you really need a gun.
Yes.
It's
It's
just
true,
a
yes,
different
and
time.
you're not living out in the woods hunting ducks. It's,
That's
it's
right.
and that's the thing. And so many gun owners find, especially children, that's the accidents in the home. That's
It's horrible.
extremely hard. You're
Absolutely
often more
horrible.
likely to be done in by your own gun than
You
someone
usually
else,
are.
especially
Yes.
children at home. And gun safety is very important. You have to lock those things up. But
Absolutely.
yes, for young children to be asking for guns from Santa.
Yes.
We did have that, and he was very serious. And of course, we always say, "How about a Nerf gun or
Absolutely.
a water
Yes.
gun?"
You practice with a toy.
Water and Nerf is great.
Yes, those are the
God, I
only
love
ones
Nerf.
these
Nerf's
days.
great. I
Nerf's
use
great.
Nerf's a lot
Nerf
of
is
Nerf
great.
toys
Nerf
as a
is also
child.
high on the list.
Yes. Oh, And due to this whole the YouTube, there's a lot of young girls that have something where they want a palette from something called an influencer. We're still learning about that.
Oh, the
but
makeup.
they want the makeup.
Yes.
Very young
I'm
girls.
crazy
want
for the makeup. I
Yes.
understand it, but they're getting very young with the makeup. aren't
Very
they?
young with it. They're starting
really
to look like
are.
little harlots a little too soon.
And the
So
eyebrows. I just had
Oh,
my eyebrows painted
they're
today.
beautiful.
See,
They are
but
beautiful.
you know,
they're gorgeous.
but I'm not 7, so you know.
right,
it's-
right. We-
True.
right.
This is true.
Yes. So the modern technology does come in for good, but sometimes, we are a little baffled by some of the requests. that
They
come
get
in.
very mature. They're asking for grown-up things.
Yes.
They're asking for makeup and
Yes,
Nintendos
yes.
and
And
cars.
like I said, iPhones for children.
Oh, yes.
iPhones for
So many
I think
iPhones.
they need to wait a little bit.
Yes. I think that boy was 5 years old the other night that
5?
wanted an iPhone.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. He was 5. He said it was time to get his iPhone.
Time to get his iPhone.
I said
It's a
it's-
schedule.
Yes.
And I said, not quite.
I said, let me talk to your mother.
Very, very smart.
Yes.
And I think that's good too because with Santa, if Santa just you can have anything and no matter what it costs, sure. I mean that makes it difficult for the parents
Absolutely.
It really
because
does.
they're expected to keep up with Santa and I'm now supposed to go out and buy $5,000 worth of stuff because Santa told him he could have anything he wanted.
Right. We don't do that.
No, he's very
I have
good about
I have a
that.
great answer for
Yes.
certain things. It's I'll see what I can do. It's the perfect answer for everything. I'll
This is
see
true.
what I can do.
Yes. Yes.
Because it's an answer, but it's not an answer.
I've actually used that throughout the year with Santa sometimes too, Allison. I love him. I love him, but sometimes I do get headaches, and I just have to just see what I can do.
And with a very long marriage, sometimes
It's
you see,
hundreds
just
and
go,
hundreds of
I'll
I love
see
you,
what I
Santa."
can do.
Yes,
you know?
yes, yes.
Because then there could be a yes.
Yes, yeah.
Well, you guys are just amazing. You look so good,
Thank
and you're
you.
just dealing with the changes in this world and things going crazy, and kids asking for just more and more advanced and modern and occasionally dangerous items.
Got to keep up.
To be able to handle that in this day and age, I admire you. That
Well, thank you.
You're
Thank
sticking
you,
it out.
Allison.
Well, we
And-
do love what we do.
Yes, we do.
Absolutely. We can't imagine doing anything else.
And the joy that you bring to the kids, and people think, well, kids ask for Santa, it's greed, but you're so not about the greed materialism. You're explaining to them it's not just about the stuff.
It's not that at all. No, you've got to give back.
That-
Absolutely.
And we have had several children, very young ones, come to us and very sincerely say, all I want is world peace. We've had some just recently this past week said, I don't want any toys because some kids don't have any.
A lot of sharing.
Yes, and then
Lot
we
of
have the little
sharing.
brats that want the iPhone. So, that runs the gamut, Allison. I'm just
But so
saying.
that's good. So there's still good kids out there.
There's
Still kids coming to
many
Santa
good
saying,
kids.
just make
Yes.
everybody else okay, get something for somebody
Absolutely.
else.
Yes,
So,
yes.
okay, well, that gives me faith in
Yes,
humanity that that's still happening.
It's still happening.
All right, well, you're amazing, and you're going to be, tell us where you're going to be again, because this weekend is the 20th
Yes,
and
the 20. Well, the
21st?
20th is a private preschool.
Okay.
Yes, but
The
the
21st
21st is Westlake
December 21st.
Plaza in Westlake Village.
Westlake
from
Village.
2 to 5.
2 to 5.
And then the next day on the 22nd is El Camino Shopping Center, and that's in let's see, where are we going? Woodland Hills.
Hills.
And that one's from 11 to 2, so
Oh,
we'll be a
right.
little earlier on that one.
And it says here on your fabulous marketing there, you do holiday photos, Santa Paws, parties, home office, etc., red carpet appearances, tree lighting ceremonies, theater, sketches, TV, film. And you are at Facebook at the Santa and Mrs. Claus, and Instagram at the _Santa _and _Mrs. Claus.
Yes.
You're all over it. To also mentioning theater commercials, SAG-AFTRA.
Yes.
Because
Yes, we
Santa's
have-
Union.
We actually have to be in the union to do
Yes.
something on TV or film. So yes, we comply with everyone.
We are. We do.
Oh.
I'm telling you, Santa's
We
hitting
follow the
all the
rules.
points. We love this. We love this. What best Christmas advice, wish, thought, best advice would you give to everyone tonight out there?
Truly, truly, we need world peace and kindness. It costs nothing to be kind. Just be kind. That's all we ask.
Yes.
Not a whole lot to ask for. Be kind to one another. Kindness goes a long, long way.
Yes, absolutely. And to think of others. If you don't have much to give, you can volunteer with your time, or basically shouting out on your social media for a nonprofit.
Hello.
Things like that. That
Absolutely.
put you right at the top of the nice list. Those are the things that we really love to see.
Excellent. Well, this is the Alison Arngrim Show, and I'm Alison Arngrim, and this is Santa and Mrs. Claus. Merry Christmas.
Thanks for having us, Alison.
Merry
Christmas,
Christmas, everyone.
everybody.
I found my way